everybody. My name is Sam. I stay in Detroit, a mile from here, and I'm with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. You could be anywhere, but you're here. The weather is not the greatest. Thank you for staying. If we're gonna be here though, let's lock in. The Venezuelans are locked in. The Cubans are locked in. People around the country are protesting just like us. Let's build the momentum all the way to the end, y'all, all right? All right, so today we need to equip ourselves to tell the truth. Tell the truth about Venezuela. Tell the truth about ICE in our communities. Tell the truth about the real dictatorship in the US and the real democracy of Venezuela. We need to equip ourselves because we are at war in the battle of ideas against the richest military superpower in the world with the biggest misinformation machine in human history. We have to learn to tell the truth to save ourselves and the planet because we're here, but the masses of people are not with us yet and they need the truth too. So let's get into it. The US government has no right to kidnap President Maduro or a president of any other country. This is a criminal act. He has murdered fishermen. Trump has stolen tankers of oil. He's invaded Venezuela and kidnapped the head of state. We demand that these acts of war end immediately. And I'll be shook, y'all. Like, I didn't expect 2026 to start like this, okay? I was up all night last week when this hit the news. I'm sure a lot of you were too. But I need us to remember, the truth is, U.S. imperialism is actually showing its weakness here. There are two key factors, so listen close. One, we are seeing mass mobilization in Venezuela. President Maduro's call to massively expand the Bolivarian militias saw over 8 million citizens arm themselves. In Venezuela, they arm themselves for peace. Combined with Venezuela's professional military, which is not fractured, this has created a scenario where a ground invasion for the US would lead to an unacceptable political and material cost. The vast majority of Venezuelans are showing that they are united, demanding to free and bring Maduro home, even those who didn't vote for him. And Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. famously said, you can jail a revolutionary, but you cannot jail a revolution. And while President Maduro may be in jail in New York, the Bolivarian Revolution remains in the streets of Caracas and in the presidential palace of Miraflores. The second key factor is us. The domestic U.S. opposition, widespread public rejection of this military intervention, including significant sectors of Trump's own base, have made a large-scale deployment politically untenable. And here's my point. Immediately after the latest attack, demonstrators in 100 cities across the country took the streets. This shows that the people do not want war with Venezuela. And faced with this pressure, the White House has pivoted to simply kidnap the head of the revolutionary state, like they're kidnapping people at home. By using this so-called surgical strike, they've sent tens of innocent civilians murdered rather than to go at war with the entire Venezuelan state. The U.S. is actually recognizing that Venezuela's democratic government is here to stay. And we know since the failed, costly military interventions of Iraq and Afghanistan, the U.S. prefers bombing campaigns and abductions to claim as political trophies, but they can't invade a sovereign nation. So here's the proof. The U.S. shows us its weakness. Whether it's Renee Nicole Good while she's isolated in the street, or Detroit students isolated, kidnapped by ICE. The reality is only when we are isolated and alone can we become a target. When we stand together, the U.S. is incapable of waging a successful war on us at home or abroad. But this didn't start last week, as we know. The current threats against Venezuela are not new. Not new to the Trump, not new to the Republican Party, not new to Democrats. Both Democrats and Republicans have been working hand in hand for over 2 decades to undermine and destabilize the democratically elected governments of Venezuela. By hook or crook, they have tried everything from sponsoring coup attempts, diplomatically isolating the South American oil giant, imposing over 1,000 sanctions and more. And the justification for these abuses is a quote-unquote lack of democracy, economic crisis, and now the quote-unquote involvement of drug trafficking.
Shame.
The speed at which these justifications change reveals that these are all just excuses. We good? You all right? The real goal for the U.S. is to cause enough suffering to undermine confidence in the government and overthrow the leadership. But are we going to let them?
No!
Our role here in the belly of the beast is to continue to grow domestic opposition to the empire's plans, to counter disinformation campaigns, and to do our part to shift the attention of forces here so that the revolutionaries of the global south have the space and the boot off their neck to chart their own course of destiny. All right, y'all, so this is where we really got to make a decision, all right? You with me?
Yeah!
All right. So for us in the U.S., there is a fork in the road, and we must choose a path today. To the left, there is a pathway of realizing our power, training each other, building independent organization out of our communities to shut down our enemy, the billionaires and the capitalist government. This is the path of taking power back, to put an end to U.S. imperialism, an end to endless war, and an end to capitalism, which is killing our people, starving us of access to housing, healthcare, food, and life itself, and creating an existential threat to humanity by climate catastrophe. We need to build and take the power back to build the future that we deserve.
That's right.
But there's another pathway. To the right, we know that over the last 50 years, this pathway has not gone so well. This is the wait for the midterms pathway, where we give up our power and we hope the Democrats will save us, where we leave this deadly system in place and hope our enemies on Wall Street and the White House have a change of heart.
Hell no! Fuck that shit!
The people of Venezuela chose the pathway to the left decades ago and took their destiny into their own hands through the Bolivarian Revolution. So which path are we gonna take? Which path are we gonna take? Are we gonna go the familiar way to the right that has failed us repeatedly for decades? Or are we going a new way where our oppression comes to an end, where we liberate ourselves and build the future that we need? So on January 20, the 1-year anniversary of the inauguration of Donald Trump, there is a nationwide shutdown to say no more to this deadly system and this administration. Do you want to see justice for Renee Nicole Good?
Yeah!
Do you want to see the arrest of Jonathan Ross, the killer ICE agent?
Yeah!
Do you want to see ICE out of our communities once and for all?
Yeah!
Do you want to stop U.S. imperialism and its genocidal, endless war on the people of the world and the entire planet?
Yeah!
Only when people are active in struggle and unified and organized around a common political horizon can we win. Our people are dying in Detroit and around the world, and we do not have time to wait until November. Walk out on January 20 and get organized to build the future. So no war on Venezuela.
No war on Venezuela!
No war on Venezuela.
No war on Venezuela!
Justice for Renee Nicole Good.
Justice for Renee Nicole Good!
Justice for Renee Nicole Good.
Justice for Renee Nicole Good!
When I say January January 20, you say walk out. January 20?
Walk out!
January 20?
Walk out!
January 20?
Walk out!
All right, y'all, you got your assignment. Let's get after it, y'all.